Legend Total War here, and today we've got a 7-year disaster battle playing as Reichland. We've got Balthazar Gelt here with a very heavily Hellstorm rocket battery focused army here. I do like the smell of Hellstorm rocket battery in the morning, and we're going up against Karag Ziflin. So they've got more troops than us for sure, but we've definitely got some of the quality on our side. So he's got a really damaged garrison. So what he did was he occupied Gisero, and then the Karag Ziflin immediately declared war and launched the attack. And he said that in the battle here that, you know, obviously the Hellstorm rocket batteries will do a lot of damage, but they still got to his front line. And once they did that, they absolutely wrecked him. So I'll show you how to set up a formation with your artillery so that when the enemy does inevitably get to your front line, you can still keep fighting, so it's not the battle's over. Alright, so we've got Gelt on Quicksilver, that's good. The Life Wizard is on foot. Okay, we've got 4 Warrior Priests, all low level. Okay. And, alright, because we've got a lame garrison here, we should not control large armies. That way these gyrocopters won't show up at the start, because they'll be super annoying. Right, because who cares about these guys at all? They don't matter one bit. So remember, when deciding whether or not to control large armies, you got to decide on this: is your reinforcements, or the 21st to however many number of units that are sitting in reserve, are they important to the battle? And then look at the enemy reinforcements and ask, are they more important than those units? And in this case here, are the 66 piece of crap units sitting here worth more than the 750 units? No. So we hold them both off. Okay, now in terms of terrain, you want to be as far away from their initial line as possible, giving you as much time to shoot as possible. Shoot the artillery as possible. Now, the terrain here isn't perfect because we're kind of got on the lower end of the slope, but it doesn't matter that much because it's fairly gentle. So, the reason why we want to pick a corner or at the side of the map, even over here is okay. Actually, that might not be too bad right there, because that way we're not going too much far down this hill, is so that the units over here and the units over here are actually kind of in different distances towards the front of your army, and so it takes them longer to get organized. Yeah, Vanguard deployment will be good here, that's for sure. Alright, we'll be able to shoot at that right away. Another thing that might have happened in his battle is that maybe he shot off too much ammunition and lost too much balance of power on those guys. Okay, so now setting up a formation with the infantry to ensure that the Hellstorm rocket batteries can keep shooting for as long as possible. So we don't want to obstruct them at all. So leave a gap in the front of them. I'm going to need to reposition a lot of these guys. But heroes tend not to block the artillery shot, and it doesn't really matter if they get hit with it. So you don't want to do something like this. You know, this is basic, especially if you're on the low ground here. You're going to start hitting your troops early, and then as soon as like even one unit of theirs gets over here, it's basically game over. So that's like the worst formation you can do. So with your Hellstorm rocket batteries, try to give them a clear shot and put your heroes in front of it, because these guys here, they're not going to block it. Now, another thing that you need to do is make sure that your heroes are far enough away. If your heroes are like standing really close here, the AI will just ignore them and move forward, right? But if you're far enough away, then they'll basically try to estimate how they can do as much damage as quickly as possible, and they estimate it wrong because they look at these units in front here and they think, okay, we need to deal with this and then deal with this here, and they tend to clump up a fair bit. Or they end up in decision limbo, which is even better. And what I mean by decision limbo is where you see enemy forces moving back and forth like this, right? That means that they're just not sure what to decide, because the situation isn't ideal for them. Alright, so I would like to get over here. I think we got enough time for it.
Moving up, sir! Moving now! Moving now! Sigma calls! Yes, sir! Moving now!
I keep these guys way out here. Right? Balthazar Gelt, go and annoy some shit. How are we going for Winds of Magic here? 88, okay.
Hellstorm!
Now the reason we want to hug at the edge of the map there is to basically stop us from getting flanked.
Loaded, sir. At speed. Formation. March.
Okay. Good, only one Winds of Magic, not a big deal.
March.
Also sending Guilt up here to get shot. We'll have their crossbows and guns or whatever. Good, you got regen on Guilt, that's good.
Go. To battle.
And then we just make sure we're hitting good targets.
Hellstorm rocket battery.
Okay, we weren't really
Ready for war.
in position there properly, but it's okay.
Ready to smite. Quick march. Take the ground. Formation. March.
Okay, I'm going to send the warrior priests way up ahead here because we want them to clump up. See, they're not too spread out at the moment, but we want them to get into even tighter formations, ideally. So just keep them all together. Yeah, look at this. This is what we want here. Just use the cheapo spells just in case we need to use a Earth Blood. Oh yeah, welcome to Estalia, gentlemen. They're ages away from the front line here. Okay, get them in there. And watch a big clump start to form. Yeah, not everyone. Look, see, this one over here, coming all the way over this way. They're in decision limbo. They're not sure what to do. But if you want to do this, you have to do it very far away from your front line. Then only a few units are coming over here, which our other units will be able to handle quite easily. Look at this. Look at that shit. See how few of them are coming towards our front line here? They're just going to get shredded by the small arms fire. Keep the heavy arms fire shooting into this. Oh, yes, daddy. Come on, over here. Don't worry about the missile units, they're distracted. Maybe I could have actually gone about controlling large armies here. It would have been fine. Because this is looking very delicious at the moment. I like what you've done with the army. It definitely works. Just need to know how to use it properly. How is this even a disaster battle? Well, if you don't know how to use it, any battles can be a disaster battle. Gotta know how to use your tools in your arsenal. And as you can see, they just didn't even get close. This army is very good against dwarves. But you just gotta know how to use it. You can also probably justify bringing up the small arms fire a bit earlier. But this is fine here, I think. Yeah, just keep the life wizard far enough back so he's able to provide health. Over there. Try to aim for the general, because that's the one thing that the Hellstorm rocket batteries can't be relied upon to take out. But yeah, see, they're just not coming over here. And it's all because we kept our heroes really far away. Okay, now might be a good idea to cease fire on that, because there's still more reinforcements to come. We don't want to blow our entire load too early.
is our guilt. The Empire endures. To battle.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I reckon we probably could have done this controlling large armies as well. It would have been better if these guys had come a little bit earlier. But I didn't... Like, I expected this to be okay, but I didn't expect it to go this well. Yeah, kill him. This went really, really well. Okay, we can reform this up so it's a bit better. And at this stage here, I don't think we've taken a single casualty. Now another thing with this, it might be better to stagger them out a little bit so that there's gaps in between the archer lines, so the guns will have an easier time shooting if they get through. Good. Alright, let them come in a bit now. Alright, shouldn't take too much to get the army losses. Where are those gyrocopters? Or have they not come into the battlefield yet? Nice blob over there. That's why we didn't want to waste all the ammunition at the start there. And also, it's sometimes best not to shoot the units that are already super badly damaged, because the Hellstorm rocket batteries are best used against like full strength units, because they're really inaccurate. Come on, where that army loss is at? Okay, let's bring these up. We've just finished up there. Okay, that's enough. They're thinned out enough. Yeah, remember that these job here, their job is to thin out the enemy forces by like 80 to 90%, not to actually outright kill them entirely. Okay, let's just get into one line over here. Okay, the gyrocopter brimstone guns shouldn't be any problem for these ones to deal with. Okay, move them back out. Good if we can get the army losses before they come. We haven't actually taken a single casualty yet. But if the gyrocopters get over here, I can't see us taking them out. Unless they can shoot at the warrior priest. We're going to move them up a bit so they prioritize it. And there we go. 0 deaths. I think, unless we got a little bit of friendly fire over here, which might have happened. Which I don't think it did. Welcome to the Estalia, gentlemen, even though we're not in Estalia. There we go. So yeah, really good army. Wasn't really a disaster unless you just don't know what you're doing with this sort of army, but the type of formation that you build is so important. It's not just about building the right armor. You got to use it correctly. And I've found that putting your heroes too close to your front line, the AI will ignore it. However, if you... Ooh, I think we might have just shot our own troops a little bit there. If you keep them very far away, but you know, within artillery distance, we get this huge blob of units that we just absolutely exterminated. And yeah, we just didn't take any casualties. Okay, we did take casualties, but it's pretty much guaranteed that's friendly fire. But yeah, warrior priests are great for tanking like that. And it's actually quite good to have like 4 of them. The reason why I put all 4 of them together is so that it sort of acted like a like a Venus flytrap, I suppose, and brought all those other units in. Now, if the enemy had a lot of fast units, then I probably would have spread them out the side, but because they were dwarves, I didn't bother with doing that, because they just do move too slowly. But there we go. Yeah, you'll be back up to full strength next turn, no problem. And, yeah, that would have happened regardless of what I did. Campaign seems to be going pretty sort of standard for Reichland. It's a mess. Actually, did you take out Oh, it's turn 82, right. I never know. Why do these events pop up when I'm doing other people's disaster battles? Whatever. Probably want to assert their independence considering they've only got 2 regions there. Yeah. Get your Imperial farm sorted, Imperial Authority farm and sorted out over here at Minstag, and then you can confederate it later. Anyway, that's the end of this one here, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something about how to use the, I guess the hero in combination with the Hellstorm Rocket Battery strat. Works really well against dwarfs. It becomes a little bit more difficult as the enemy starts to get more and more fast units because you got to react to that stuff a lot quicker. But overall, this is a great combination. As long as you keep those heroes very far away from the front line. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.